this tutorial, I'll be showing you how I built these houses in both creative with WorldEdit and survival without WorldEdit. If you're playing this in survival, then skip to 2 minutes and 53 seconds, or if you're playing with WorldEdit, keep watching. So here, currently, I'm building a frame that is exactly 7 by 7 by 5 blocks, and then I'm filling it with smooth sandstone, and for this I'll be using the command / replace air to smooth sandstone. I will be linking all the commands I use in the description. Now what I do is I go through and copy and paste it. I recommend about 4 blocks on the base and then 1 on top. Next stage is coming through and chiseling away at it, making an indent in each of the walls. This adds a lot of depth and more detail to the build. It might not seem like much at first, but it makes a huge difference. After this, you want to come through and place stairs upside down in the corners of everywhere you made an indent. This helps smooth it out and gets rid of the blocky look. After that, you're going to want to place a block on top of each of these corners, and then connecting those blocks have upside down stairs to make a railing. Now for a bit more detail, add half slabs on top of each of those full blocks you placed before. You can do this on all roofed surfaces. The next stage is adding detail such as windows and doors. The way you do this is leaving at least 1 block from each of the edges, line out the inside and place a wall if it's a 2 by 2 space. If it's a 2 by 3 space, as you can see here, only place 4 walls and just have a space in between. You should also definitely add at least 1 door that's 2 by 3 high with upside down stairs to make an arch and then trapdoors behind it. For all of this I used spruce wood and spruce fences, but you can use fence gates or a different type of wood. Now I'm going through and placing leaves everywhere, and I will be texturing it using a command that's very complicated that I will link down in the description. Now I can just copy and paste it around using WorldEdit, and that's it. Now for the survival version, you want to come through and place an outline of it. This outline can be very rough and doesn't have to be precise. As you can see here, I come back through and make changes to it so it's better. Next, you want to fill in the spaces with a 1 block indent till it looks something like this. From here you want to build up the walls. Now if you're in survival, the best way to do this is either having a bunch of blocks in your inventory and scrolling through your mouse wheel constantly so you can get a different block each time, or just swiping left right in your inventory if you're on controller. Then go through, or the other method is to just place a bunch of 1 block, then swap to another, place a bunch of that one, and then swap to another. And this should give you a pretty even mix throughout. But for the purposes of this video, I'll be making it all out of just sandstone, smooth sandstone, because it's a lot faster, and then I can retexture it using WorldEdit later. Once you've done that, you're going to want to fill in the arches. You're going to want to place blocks over all the pillars to make arches, as you can see here. This part's fairly simple. Now you would fill it in, but because I am lazy, I will be using WorldEdit to do all of this. Now that you've done the first layer, you do the exact same thing for the second layer, where you place out your frame in blocks, and once you're happy with it after some minor modifications, go through and fill it in with blocks. You can use the previous methods I used to build up the walls, although for this I'm just using smooth sandstone. Now that you build up the walls, exactly the same as before, fill in the arches, and then fill in the roof. From here, just fill in the roof like that, and you are pretty much where we were at with the previous builds. from here it's exactly the same as what we did before. Just go through and place an upside down stair in all of the corners, and then add balconies as I've already done. Then you can go through, add some windows, greenery, and then I go through and use that command to texturize it. So now I will be using the first method I showed to just build a small city using it. Now this is just to show that you don't have to build just a small house, you can build large scale builds and even a mega base if you wish using that first method. But I'm not doing it with the second method, although you can do this exact same thing. It would just take a long time. So I'm just following the exact same steps as I have already showed. So I'll just let you enjoy the time lapse.